Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token channel. Woohoo! First live stream for the day. Of course, 2 live streams every day. Pulsechain, PulseX, and of course Hex. That's what we mainly cover, as well as all the projects as well going on the Pulsechain. And of course, I'm your host, Superman. So let's get into it. We're gonna have a bit of fun here. We're gonna go through, go back through Pulsechain and PulseX, all the good stuff that's coming up, and expecting a good chance of a launch in May. So if that bodes well for the devs, then we should get there. It's going to be quite a big month. So we're looking forward to that. We're also going to check out the crypto market prices as well. So we'll get into all that. So let's get in the chat. Say hello. As always, here we are on Pulsechain Testnet. If you're new to Pulsechain, maybe you discovered this, heard about Pulsechain, then this will be a great video for you. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get into all the details and stay tuned. It's Now's in the house there. Good to see you in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Hey, so excited too. Looking forward to Pulsechain as well. Squidlord says, did you sell your bag? Are you mad? And of course, we're going to look at some of that when we look at the price chart for Hex later on in the live stream. And we've got Jim Rat Crypto in the house there, going live at 8:30. Token pushed it up 30 minutes. Says Jim Rat Crypto, so cool. Man, if you haven't subscribed to Jim Rat Crypto, get out there. It's doing a great job out there. So I could listen. So much news today. Love to hear your take. And Mexican Hexicans in the house there, Superman, let's go. Woo! And of course, that's how we roll here. We just like to go for sure. Katie's in the house as well. Hey, welcome all. And whoop, whoop, woo-hoo. Katie, that's a bit of a variation there. I actually came up a new variation yesterday in the comment section with woot, toot, toot. How about that? That's the new one. Woot, toot, toot. That's a bit of a funny one, but I thought I'd add that into the mix. Hey, that's how we roll. Jen Hex says, Superman will be here any minute. He's looking for a phone booth. Yeah. Nice one, Jen. I like that one. And Jen Hex in the house there with the Superman. Love it. And i3's in the house. Hey, man, good to see you. Dirty Paws. Woohoo. And Luke Wild as well. Top-up time. Yeah, that's right. Top-up time for sure. Anytime that some big selling, top-up time for sure. We will check that out later on in the live stream, as I say. Dan Smith's in the house. Woohoo. Good to see you, Dan. And Taffrin as well. Money bags. And Rango in the house there. Morning all. Good to see you. John Williams is in the house there. Woohoo. Morning all as well. Nay one. Superman. Hey, very, very cool. Now, as you guys know, I like to focus on this channel being more of a family channel. There's lots of different content creators out there doing lots of different stuff. And I also try not to focus on any drama that's out there. I'm not really into that sort of thing. I'm just really about what's happening with the community and of course, helping the community move forward, as well as obviously the fundamentals of Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex. So, that's where you're pretty much going to see my commentary stay around. So hopefully that's a place that people that don't want to participate in that sort of thing can hang out here. So that's pretty much my statement there. Hope you guys enjoy that one. Sorry for the dump. Everybody says Hex. I knew it was you. No, just kidding. All right, Hex 647 in the house here. Just bought my liquid Hex to swap for PLS. When I get a copy. Nice one, Hex 647. Woo-hoo-hoo. We're not worthy. That's very cool. I picked up some Hex yesterday. Obviously, the price was actually higher than today. Obviously, it was about 13 something cents. So just the way it goes. And Taffrin's in the house as well. Woo-hoo. Good to see you, Taffrin. Ivan Sardix in the house there. Hello. Good to see you also. And Taffrin says, keep dumping, baby, says Taffrin, because you like to pick up the deals, don't you? Pick up the deals. So here we are with Pulsechain. This is the testnet V2B, V3's in private test network with the dev team. And we've got 3-second blocks here. We are just kicking along here at the moment. So the looks like the index is basically done. It says indexing tokens, but the percentage sign has gone, on a testnet. If you're new to Pulsechain, you're wondering what's going on. Maybe you've come from maybe the lunar fallout, or maybe you've come from just getting a bit concerned about the crypto market and you've heard about Pulsechain. Then this is a great video for you, because Pulsechain is going to be amazing. It's going to be the biggest airdrop in crypto history. Everything on Ethereum is getting copied over. This is the first time in history this has ever been done. This will not be a ghost chain like other forks or other things like that. This will or new technology and blockchain. This will be amazing in terms of everybody getting a copy on Ethereum. Will get copied over to Pulsechain, and of course the biggest airdrop in crypto history. First system stake copy of Ethereum, and of course potentially the largest yield farm in crypto history as well, with a special incentive token that's deflationary. So a lot of yield farmers will be trying to get that from not just Ethereum but multiple chains coming over for that. And of course, we're going to have the fastest way to mass adoption with the Pulse Ramp bridge, the official bridge. We are expecting third-party bridges there. We've got a couple out there that we know of, and there's probably a couple that we don't know of. So we'll probably see that play out with DEX swapping services and stuff like that. So that could be very, very quick after the Pulse Chain launches. It's going to be very fun. Now, obviously, we're expecting a good chance of a launch this in May. Once again, we're waiting for Richard Hart, the founder of Pulse Chain Fork, to let us know what the official announcements. And of course, everything that's getting copied over at the moment will get copied over. So the chain will fork off from Ethereum, and of course, whoever's got assets in that fork will get them airdrops. So that's pretty much it. So that's why people are accumulating Hex, accumulating other assets, ERC20 assets, and things like that as well. So a lot of people are trying to think about their strategies. Both once Pulse Chain launches, there's going to be pretty much like a 24, maybe 48 hours before the actual official bridge opens up. Before that, of course, people will be able to ratio trade their airdrop tokens. ERC20s are going to become PRC20s. ERC 721s become PRC 721s. And of course, ERC 1155 contracts will become PRC 1155, etc. So that's how it's going to work. It's going to basically be copied over. And of course, with potentially around about 195 million Ethereum wallets, and a certain amount of those are regularly active, maybe 700,000 to a million a day are regularly active. That provides a lot of opportunity when the Pulse Chain bridge opens up for huge activity to ramp up on Pulse Chain very fast as people come over to get their airdrops, come over to participate in yield farming, and of course, in all the new innovative products that have come onto Pulse Chain. It's going to be a very, very cool thing to see. So we've got lots happening in that space, folks. It's going to be very exciting. And of course, it's going to be a great way of you earning passive income in 2022, 2023. If you're after passive income online, then this could be something really, really good for you too. And we're looking forward to that. So that's Pulse Chains coming up, and you can see how amazing it's going to be. Obviously, after the Luna fall from grace, as it were, with the UST and the Luna token, with the mint and burn there. After that fallout, of course, Pulse Chain timing couldn't be better. Of course, coming into the market, and a lot of people will be looking for that huge opportunity. Probably, in my opinion, only is the biggest opportunity in crypto in the next 18 months to 2 years. It's going to be absolutely amazing to see Pulse Chain roll out, and of course with PulseX as well. So Pulse Chain is like a Ethereum blockchain, and of course PulseX is the exchange. So we're going to get into that in a second. So before we do that, we're going to talk about Pulse Chain validators. Now, obviously, Ethereum 2.0 is expected to roll out over the next couple of years. The first step, of course, moving from a proof of work to proof of stake to a full proof of stake system. And of course, we're expecting that possibly in the second half of this year if they're able to deliver on those timelines. Obviously, Ethereum does have a lot of delays in their timelines, and so we're probably expecting that to happen. And so we're going to see how that plays out. But in the meantime, Pulse Chain, if it does launch this month, will be front running all of that with a full proof of stake. So though it's a fork of Ethereum, and it's going to have most of the code updates that Ethereum has, and that's compared to Binance Smart Chain, other chains that didn't have that. It's going to be amended with a proof of stake system. So we'll already be there with proof of stake, opening it up to a lot more people to be able to stake with validators. We're going to have a look to have 33 validators. So it's going to be very, very powerful from that point of view. Now, obviously, having less validators or more validators has pros and cons to that, but 33 is a pretty good amount. We're going to expect when Pulse Chain launches, at the moment on testnet, it's running at 3-second blocks because we have 33 validators running. And of course, once we move on to the mainnet, so this is testnet, once we into mainnet, we could see, this ramp up from maybe 3 validators ramping up to 33. And so as we do that, the speed of the network will get up to this targeted network of 3-second blocks. Obviously, Ethereum's got like 13-second block times. And so we look to ramp up to that in a pretty fast space of time, possibly within 2 weeks. And that would be pretty exciting to see that play out. Now, it does take, as I understand, a couple of days for the validators to update the code and get up and running. and so we should see more and more validators come over that period of time as well. So it's going to be fascinating. The other thing, of course, you'll be able to stake your Pulse if you do have Pulse. Maybe you're part of the Pulsechain Sacrifice back in July last year, all the way through to the 4th of April. We had a little messy period, but most of it was in July, August last year. Then you'll be able to stake your Pulse and earn a little bit of Pulse. Obviously, over time, as the Pulse chain blocks fill up with more transactions and contracts, basically the amount of Pulse that you'll be able to earn will increase in volume. And of course, over time, we expect the price of Pulse to do some pretty incredible numbers in terms of percentage increases or X returns, as we might say. And there's some pretty big, exciting numbers out there that people are speculating on that the native chain or Pulse chain could do. I actually think the use case for that's even bigger now after the Luna fallout. So it offers another, a chain to come in with super cheap, super low fees. Don't forget that because of this first system stake copy of Ethereum, that you will own the keys to your coins, and that is a very, very important thing to be able to. I always own the keys to your coins. Obviously, if you're on a centralized exchange, you don't own the keys to your coins. If you've got a lot of assets there, if you've got a lot of assets on Polygon, for example, you don't own the keys to your coins. They're layer 2 or sidechain ones, and of course you want to own the layer 1. So it's very, very powerful from a point of view owning the keys to your coins. It can't be understated that. So that's going to be very, very, very important. And as I suggest to you, if you want to participate in Pulsechain airdrop, with the copy, with PRC20 tokens, etc., you should get your tokens off anywhere you don't control the keys to your coins. You should get them off there, like exchanges, into say a MetaMask or Trust Wallet or something like that, so that you have at least on the Ethereum blockchain registered under your own address that you have the keys to. Otherwise, the chances are you won't probably get access to those. So just need to think about that. So if you've got a large amount of crypto sitting on exchanges, best probably to get that off there. And so that you can participate in the PRC20s. Now, obviously, once we've done that, we've got the validators. You'll be able to earn, like I say, a bit of volume. Over time, the price will go up and the volume will likely go up. Obviously, you're always competing with other people that are in those pools, and the pools are ranked from top to bottom out of those 33 based on the amount of Pulse that's staked with them. You have to have 0.01% stake with each particular validator. So obviously, if there's less Pulse staked at the lowest one, you won't need as much Pulse to stake with them. So this one here, you might need about 740,000 Pulse with this bottom one here, as opposed to the top, where you would need several million to stake with them. So just take that into account. So that's going to be exciting, though. A full proof of stake. That is beautiful. So what do we got here? We've got Pulsechain, a full proof of stake network. That's a fork of Ethereum. It's a beautiful thing to behold if you think about it. And of course, you will be able to stake there. And I think that's pretty powerful stuff. Not only will you get the airdrop, but potentially you can stake your Pulse if you have some Pulse from the sacrifice. Otherwise, you can do some ratio trading the first day or two and trade some PRC20s that you've got as copies from your ERC20s and potentially ratio trade those. Obviously, super popular is the Hex token. Obviously, also a founder's token there for Richard Hart. And so that's obviously a popular one. Also, tokens that are particularly popular, like SHIB, and also ones that may have a lot of liquidity when we first ramp up on the Pulsechain. Obviously, liquidity ramps up over time, and some trading peers will ramp up faster than others. Obviously, Hex, all the founders ones will likely do pretty well with liquidity. Hex, Pulsechain, and PulseX, the founding tokens, pretty important. And obviously, the incentive token will do pretty well, not just from the founders, but also with the yield farmers coming over, because yield farmers come over in a heartbeat. So they'll be chasing down the next best thing. And obviously, Pulsechain, PulseX, potentially the biggest yield farming opportunity out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that play out. So lots of things happening there if you're new to Pulsechain. And this is coming pretty soon. So it's going to be pretty amazing there. Now, this testnet, of course, we've already had 3 testnets. Currently, there's apparently 4th testnet running version 3 behind the scenes. And, of course, we're looking to go straight to mainnet at this stage. It looks like we're going to end up going straight to mainnet. So very, very exciting. Possibly May launch, looking very probable. So looking exciting about that. So that's something for you if you think about. Obviously, do some more investment due diligence. There's lots of content creators out talking about Pulsechain, PulseX, etc. So you can definitely check those people out. And of course, obviously, we've got the exchange PulseX. So we talked about Pulsechain. It's basically like Uniswap, the blockchain. But obviously, we've got PulseX, which is a bit like Uniswap. It's a fork of PancakeSwap, and it's kind of got those sort of decentralized or DEX features in there. And at the moment, it's got the basic features. So it's got the trade as in the title, so you can trade and exchange. So you hit the exchange there. You can obviously swap tokens of choice. Obviously, here we've got Pulse and PulseX. So Pulse being the native token of Pulsechain, just like ETH is the native token of Ethereum, and PulseX here being the native token of PulseX, just like Uni is for Uniswap, or Cake is for PancakeSwap, etc. So that's pretty neat there. A lot of people will be after that as too. Now, the interesting thing about both Pulse and PulseX is that both of their supplies were given out in a relatively unique process now in crypto, which is a sacrifice. The idea of sacrifice is, in most cases, is to get around the Howey test as treating it as security. In other words, no expectation to work from others, and we'll see how that plays out. But that's how it's been done. And of course, the total supply of both those tokens are at the beginning. Pulse has probably about 12.3 trillion in public supply, and of course, PulseX probably has about 17 trillion. Now, in addition to that, of course, we're going to have an AMM bot, or an automatic market maker bot, harvest all the PRC20s that are related to Ethereum on the ETH chain, and of course, that's going to take those out and then lock them into PulseX and lock that liquidity in terms of the tokens. So that's going to be pretty important there, and it's going to pretty much set up all these trading pairs as well. So it's going to be a really, really neat to see that. In addition to that, of course, people from the public will be able to set up their own trading pairs and their own tokens, things like that. And then obviously, after a day or two, people will be able to ratio trade within that period of time. They'll be able to ratio trade PRCs for Pulse, some native tokens, Pulse and PulseX, and of course, and vice versa, back and forth. So we're going to see the lay of the land after a day or two. We'll see whoever needs to ratio trade. There'll be a lot of people that won't be ratio trading, particularly that sacrifice for both Pulse and PulseX. Many of them may not be wanting to increase their position. Some of them will do. Some people will be. Maybe they bought Hex or SHIB or something recently, and they want to ratio trade some of those. It's going to be fascinating to see that. So obviously, some of the PRC20s may have some better ratios versus Pulse or PulseX, depending on what's happening. No one really ultimately knows. We'll find out. Obviously, Hex is super popular, particularly with the potential liquidity backing, and of course the founders token. So we'll see how that plays out. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's lots of unknowns out there, folks. A lot of people are trying to make a good, educated guesses, but we'll find out once it actually launches. We know crypto can be pretty crazy at the beginning, but we suggest that there's probably a lot of demand for the Pulse token and the PulseX token, as the EPIX returns that you get in centralized exchange, in blockchains are pretty big, generally speaking, over, say, the first couple of years. So it's going to be fun to see that. I suspect that it's going to happen pretty fast, given the fact that this is the first system state copy of Ethereum, potentially the biggest yield farming and fastest way to mass adoption. Obviously, people being able to do that is pretty important, being able to adopt through the bridge. So we've got 1 or 2 ratio trading days. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. We've obviously got the chain going to ramp up in terms of its speed. In other words, 3-second block times, say around about 4 or 5 times faster than Ethereum, and of course super cheap. So for 1 Pulse, the native token, you should be able to do hundreds, if not over 1,000 transactions, depending on the smart contract interactions. And I think that's going to be incredible. That's going to be super cheap, and it's going to really make commerce flourish on Pulsechain. So a lot of stuff often struggles on Ethereum with the high gas fees, the variability of the Gwei prices, and of course that has made put a lot of projects under pressure, especially DeFi and NFTs and things like that. So it should help to make those flourish at a very cheap, low cost environment, where for 1 Pulse you could do hundreds of transactions. It's going to be fun to see that play out. Obviously, over time, we expect Pulse and PulseX to price up over time, but it is set at 1 Gwei at the moment, so we'll see how that goes on the chain and see whether that increases as well over time. It's going to be fun to watch that play out. But in any case, super fast, super cheap. That's going to be a major utility for the chain and adoption. The other thing, of course, is you'll be able to swap between different pairs. We've got Pulse and PulseX here. There's the trading here. So you'll be able to select all different types of pairs that are in your wallet. You can see I've got Hex here. You can swap between Hex and PulseX there. All that sort of stuff there. You can see we've got the ratios here on the left here. So 1 Hex equals 1,333 PulseX on here. For example, we can flip that around, of course, and we can see what the ratio is there. Obviously 1300 is a big number, but of course if we take it back to Pulse there, we can see that one PulseX equals 0.298 of a pulse, and people can trade that. There's cool charts, of course, people can do, and of course it's just like anything else you've been trading on other platforms. If you're used to that, you can swap them around, so it's pretty easy to do. You obviously just put in the amount that you want to sell, for example, and you can swap those around. It shows you the price impact, etc., and the minimum received and the liquidity fee provided. Often, many people, when they're trading, don't look at the liquidity fee, but obviously that's going to be in a place there. So if we click on that, we can see that for each trade on PulseX, it's going to be pretty competitive compared to some of the others, which are typically at 0.3%. PulseX is going to be at 0.29% fee, and I think that's pretty neat. Of that, of course, 0.22% is going to go to the LP holders, and 0.07% is going to go to the PulseX buy and burn. So these are absolute percentages. So if you add up 22 and 7, that equals 29. So that is what's going to be paid out there. So very cool. Now, obviously, that's on the volume of the value of the trade compared to Pulse chain. So there's going to be some good dollars going through there. Obviously, if we do a big amount, we will see some pretty big trading volumes through there potentially. Starting off maybe hundreds of millions, maybe getting to the billions, something like that. So we'll watch that and see how that plays out. But obviously, everything is there. The biggest airdrop, the biggest yield farming, the biggest fastest way to mass adoption, deflationary tokenomics, and many more things. Super cheap, super fast. Owning the keys to your coins. Man, there's not much not to like. And of course, a fiat gateway on ramps and leverage lending coming in later on. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that play out. Obviously, that's the trading. You can also provide liquidity, of course. And that means that once you do that, you get LP tokens. They're kind of like the ownership token. They describe your position that you got into at the time and your ownership of that. And of course, you can click the add liquidity there, and you can add the tokens that you want to put in there. So you could have Pulse, and you could have PulseX, for example. And you can put in, a certain amount that you want to enter in there. It will give you the share of the pool, and you can supply that too. It says by adding, you'll earn a 0.22% of all trades. So that's a pretty nice little fee there. But on top of that, of course, you get LP tokens, and you can then end up taking those to the farms. So off you do go to the farm, so you can trade obviously with exchange and liquidity. You can then go to earn and click on the farms after you've got LP tokens. Those LP tokens will go to your wallet. You can add them into your wallet, but they'll go to your wallet, and you can click on farms. And then in addition, not only are you going to earn that 0.22% fee, but you're going to be able to go and put those in the yield farms and earn an additional incentive token. So incentive token will be the primary yield farming incentive token. It's going to be deflationary as well, which is going to be pretty cool. Everyone's after passive income, all right? You need passive income. We're in a high inflation environment at the moment. There's lots of issues going around, swirling around the world at the moment. And of course, people want to earn a good passive income. So yield farming is one of those options. Obviously, it comes with what they call impermanent losses. That particularly happens when tokens move separately from each other. Obviously, if you have some that move together, that reduces the chance of having impermanent losses. But that is typically how that happens. So we've got, obviously, I've got a bit of tokens in here already. I've got my PLSX, a PLSS LP staked, and I've got, about 1.5 million staked there, about $13,300 worth based on the testnet. Now, all these numbers are fictional in terms of the US dollar amount. Obviously, it's just a testnet, but when mainnet comes, this will all be real. And of course, people's decisions are different when they are real compared to when they're on testnet, because you can do whatever you want and there's no consequences. And so at the moment, there's all testnet stuff, but it's pretty interesting to see this play out. Obviously, you can harvest your earnings as well. This is your passive income. This is your capital that you put in. And of course, this is in addition to the 0.22% fees that you earn doing PulseX, which I think is pretty powerful. So I've got about $80 worth here based on this, and I can click the harvest here. I might as well do it while we're doing this live, just the way we roll. So I'm going to hit some of that. and it's going to cost me 0.00075 test pulse. Like I say, you potentially hundreds of transactions for your one pulse. It's going to be amazing. If you're on Ethereum and you're sick and tired of those high Ethereum gas fees, man, you will love this. Now, obviously, gas fees on Ethereum do move around a lot. They can be down at 15 Gwei. They can be up at 3,000 Gwei. There's a lot of variability there. Obviously, on Pulsechain, you're going to have a consistently low gas fee for a long time to come, at least until the chain starts filling up. You can see there, I've got my INC earnings have been sent to my wallet. So that's just got some passive income. Obviously, it's on testnet, but the same thing will happen on mainnet. If you've got some LP tokens put in there. I'm obviously also earning that 0.2% 22% fees in liquidity pool from my liquidity provision there. So I'm earning that. Plus, I've taken my LP tokens, I put them in this incentive token here. Just a big incentive here to make earnings. Now, obviously, those two earnings with the fees and the yield farming incentive token, I've just got to take that into account versus potential impermanent losses. But obviously, you only actually realize those permanent losses when you actually exit your liquidity provision. In other words, I take out my LP provision here, and then of course I take that out of the liquidity pool as well. And then you may or may not have a liquidity and a permanent loss gain or loss. You may have a loss or gain. It just depends on what's happening in the market there. The other thing, of course, is this is a very popular feature. Is the fourth feature, pools. People are very excited about pools. Of course, passive income without any impermanent loss issues. You don't have to be a clever yield farmer for this or have good luck on your side. There'll be third-party pools. So we're expecting third-party projects to want to airdrop tokens to people that are holding PLSX, maybe other tokens, maybe PLS, maybe other tokens in there may also be eligible. And of course, that's going to go through voting systems, no doubt, in the majority of cases. And we'll see what happens there. Obviously, we also may even have some of the incentive token potentially that's in the farms. Maybe a certain amount of that gets allocated to the pools as well, just for a limited time or a period of time, and maybe a limited amount. So we'll see how that all rolls out at the end of the day. So those are the four main functions on PulseX. PulseX is like Uniswap or like PancakeSwap or SushiSwap, something like that. There's a decentralized exchange as opposed to a centralized one like Binance or KuCoin, something like that. So it's going to be very, very cool. Now, obviously, DEX or decentralized markets are growing and growing all the time. If we go over to CoinGecko, we can kind of see a quick realize on how big these are. So we're going to have a quick look at CoinGecko and check that out. We can see that if we go to exchanges at the top here, we can click on that, and we can see there's 612 exchanges listed on CoinGecko. Now, obviously, only so many of them have big volume. And of course, centralized exchanges wise, we have Binance, a chain there, FTX, Coinbase there. So $18 billion of trade volume through there. FTX 2.7, 2.2 through Coinbase, etc. OKX there 1.8 and KuCoin 1.5 there. So you can sort of see some of the top five there. But if we, of course, we check on the DEXs here, we can compare that volume to the DEXs, and we can see all the DEXs that are out there, decentralized exchanges compared to the centralized ones we just looked at, trading about $4.3 billion of 24-hour volume at the moment. The biggest, of course, version 3 of Uniswap, and that is running at about $2 billion of trading volume there. So even if PulseX does a fraction of these, you can see that could start ramping up very quickly in some of these bigger numbers, from tens of millions, hundreds of millions, etc., potentially into billions there. So it's going to be exciting to see that play out. And so, yeah, it's going to be really neat to see that play out. So those are the main features there. And of course, we're going to go to some of the special features of PulseX, which really make it stand out compared to anything we've seen before. Now, as I said, through the sacrifice, we got the total amount of Pulse and PulseX supply being given out. In other words, after that, it's going to decrease over time. And of course, how it does that is different. On a Pulse chain with Pulse, 0.25% of the fees are burned. That decreases the supply over time. And on Pulse chain, on PulseX, we have a buy and burn feature, which you can actually go to the ellipsis here. Those are those three dots, and you can hit the burn there. And this is really a game changer. So not only have we got all the inflation up the front, we can actually buy and burn it. So for every $1 billion of trade volume, we get about $700,000 of buy and burn. So not only does it buy the price up, but it also takes that volume of bought and throws it out the window. It's gone, and so it gets burnt. So it's pretty amazing stuff there. We can, if we zoom in on the rate at the moment, we can see that 45.83 billion has been burnt on testnet at the moment. Now, this is obviously just a testnet. The numbers are fake, but this shows you potential power of the mathematics. So the mathematics is correct. So if we have a certain amount of trade going through, and of course we can go to the info here, we can actually see the trade volumes. And of course we can see the trade volumes on the testnet. We've had as high as 9.84 billion. And of course we've had, typically 2 billion. We've had a couple 100 million on some days. And of course, the current day we're sitting at 579 million. So that would be about $350,000 of buy and burn today. And of course, the day hasn't finished yet. So it gives you some idea of the mathematics. So the mathematics works, just the numbers are not based on real trading volumes yet. But obviously, we're expecting all the Pulsechain and PulseX to launch pretty soon. The other thing, of course, is not only do we have that beautiful buy and burn, which is a real game changer. As I say, imagine a balloon full of air and a total supply of PulseX there. And as you let a bit of more air out, in other words, you buy and burn, that balloon gets smaller and smaller. There's less around. So not only does the buy and burn push the price up, and of course, no one else has to trade, the amount of total supply is just decreasing over time, helps support the price as well. So really is a beautiful, beautiful thing in crypto. And of course, having a super DEX like this could be absolutely amazing. So it's going to be pretty powerful. So assuming no one, obviously, no one even has to buy PulseX, all the trading pairs. So we could have 5,000-6,000 trading pairs, maybe 10,000 trading pairs, all actively trading over time as popularity and everything ramps up there. As people come over the bridge to get their airdrops and get it into liquidity, all that good stuff, we could see that happening in a big way. So it's going to be very, very exciting to see this play out with the amount of trading volume. Obviously, super fast, super cheap on Pulsechain. Everything is here. It is the wonderland of tokenomics and crypto, and we're looking forward to see how the game theory plays out, because it is remarkable compared to anything else out there, and we're looking forward to seeing that play out. And of course, you're here early. That's just going to be a lot of fun. Now, there's also a voting DAO. Of course, people can make votes. And of course, they can talk about what they want to get in the polls, for example, and they can make lots of votes here as well. They can talk about improvements to the DEX, decentralized exchange, and of course, one of those I expect to see fairly early is not just exchanging, but what we call limit orders. I expect to see limit orders. You can see those on PancakeSwap already, and of course, they're also partnered with a bot to do that, so that the bot is automated. Obviously, with limit orders, you set a price on a buy or sell, and if that price gets hit, then your volume that you put up for sale or purchase will trade pretty much that. We could potentially have stop losses as well, and stop limits, and stop limits, that means basically if a price gets triggered, then it triggers a limit order, and if that price gets hit, then that limit order will trade either a buy or sell price. So that's going to be pretty neat. So maybe you feel the market might go down overnight. Maybe you've got a little bit of stuff, passive income that you got from the farms. You want to sell some of that incentive token. Maybe you can do that. You can do that by setting up a limit order overnight. If it hits that price, it will trade. If it doesn't hit that price, then you're still well in the money, and you don't have to worry about it. You can just manually do it through a spot trade or a trade there. So lots of options there. Obviously, on top of this, we expect a lot of third-party dApps to come in around aggregation and spreading across the pools, and compounders coming in into place like Power City and things like that, be able to compound returns and things. We also expect to see, a lot of clever innovation in the space. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we already have a lot of third-party dApps dApps that you can see on the Discord here. The links in the video description you want to get here. Is new tokens here. We've got all these new tokens. Many of these new projects have a lot of relationships with PulseX and Pulse. These are all going to come in as new projects, new technology, as you were, new DeFi on the Pulsechain. And of course, so that you can already see, even before Pulsechain's launched, a lot of innovation coming into space. It's pretty powerful. And a lot of these have tokenomics that already interrelate with Pulse and PulseX and things like that. So I think it's going to be pretty powerful to see some of these interact here. And of course, they spur on the buy and burn that we're talking about here for the farms as well. So it's going to be really, really great. Some of those also might want to airdrop stuff into the pools here. Some of those projects might want to put in votes in here as well and get the community to vote on certain things. And of course, once those do, they may end up going to the voting, may end up going to the core votes there as well, not just the community votes, but to the core votes. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that play out. So as you can see, it's going to be pretty exciting. Lots of things coming. Now, obviously, we've talked about the potential for trade volume. PulseX could be absolutely ginormous, and maybe it could even be so successful that in time it actually challenges the centralized exchanges, and particularly the top one here, Binance, FTX, Coin, these top exchanges in terms of trade volume. That'd be a sight to see. Now, I already heard from the founder, Richard Hart, that there's going to be centralized exchange listing, obviously not disclosed until it actually happens. Obviously, you've got to make sure, saying one thing is one thing, doing it is another. So we're waiting to hear from that. So I think it's pretty exciting. All right, so that's really good what's going on there. Very, very exciting stuff there. And obviously, if you go to the coins at the top of CoinGecko, you can see obviously Luna falling from grace at the top 10 there, and is all the way down now. So we're going to give a good opportunity for Pulsechain to launch and get into this top mix. And of course, we could see PulseX and other tokens in the Richard Hart ecosystem also climb there as well. Now, some popular ERC20s for ERC20s that will become PRC20s on Pulsechain will also be very popular, like SHIB, for example. And of course, they've already a good amount of SHIBs already sacrificed for these tokens, as well as the community's already got one of its top people at PulseCon 2022. So there's some massive communities coming. Obviously, 3 million people follow SHIB on Twitter, and that's probably about probably about 5 times bigger than the people that follow Luna on Twitter. So it's a pretty big deal, pretty big community, and we're looking forward to their coming over to Pulsechain as well, getting those big community adopters in crypto. Very, very powerful thing. We also know, obviously, a lot of content creators have sacrificed for Pulsechain PulseX. In other words, the 2 top native tokens there, and they're likely to be promoting big time these when they launch. Obviously, there is a big void at the moment in terms of excitement in crypto, and Pulsechain is the big thing coming with PulseX as well, potentially the first super DEX to challenge the value of that native token Pulsechain. So lots of stuff happening. We're going to see how it all play out. Obviously, these are things we're going to see in the coming weeks and months, and it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. All right, so we also got the bridge, of course. I talked about the fastest way to mass adoption. Of course, we got the official Pulsechain bridge, and of course, I expect to see a lot of third-party bridges coming. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure. And we've got, you can pretty much swap here on testnet at the moment between Pulsechain and a Rigby Ethereum test network there. Obviously, Ethereum has a number of testnets, and the Rigby one is the one we're using currently for the Pulsechain. It is a pulseramp.com, and this is pretty exciting. Now, a lot of videos, as we talked about, for PulseX and the Pulseramp in on the Discord. So if you want to join Discord, hit the link in the video description below. You can just come down at the top here, come down to video tutorials. We've got lots of videos on the Pulsechain bridge, and of course the PulseX exchange. So if you want to get short videos on that, you can do that. Also, we've got all the great links here as well to the whole ecosystem that's building out from Pulsechain and founded by Richard Hart. So it's a pretty exciting place to be. And if you want to have a look at some of the new projects, of course, that are coming onto Pulsechain that are completely innovative to Pulsechain, then you can see a good list here of most of them here. So pretty nice. All right, so we got that the bridge as well. Obviously, I always suggest that you practice with the Pulsechain and the PulseX, the Pulsechain bridge and the PulseX exchange before it launches. It's always good to feel comfortable with it, and away you can go. Now, you obviously can pick different tokens. Now, this is using wrapped bridge technology, so obviously wrapping the token, locking it in on one chain, wrapping it, and having a copy of it on the other side as a wrap token. So that's pretty much how it works. And you can swap back and forth the direction of the bridge. You can change that from Ethereum if you want to send stuff from Ethereum over to Pulsechain. You can do that. Now, we're expecting a lot of people to bridge stable coins in particular over to Pulsechain. USDC, DAI, etc., Tether and stuff. So we've got 2 of those at the moment. PUSDC, so P for the Pulsechain, and PUSD on there, and that's on the Ethereum side. So those are the names that they're currently using for that. And of course, if we switch that around a Pulsechain testnet, we can see that if we were sending stuff from Pulsechain, the Rigby test network, then we've got on Pulsechain, it's called USDC, USD Tether at the moment in terms of naming convention. ETH is called ETH there, with the little ETH for ETH there, and that's on the Pulse chain, so you can get an idea of what that's called. At the moment, the Pulse on testnet is called T-Pulse. There are a couple of versions on there at the moment, just to let you know, including the wrap version. All right, so that's kind of what's happening there. You can play that. Now, obviously, when Pulse chain launches, there's going to be a lot of liquidity pools set up on both sides, like Ethereum side, to facilitate this transfer of assets, swapping assets and transferring over the bridge and on both sides. So it's going to be a fun place to see all that be set up. So it's a bit of learning to go when it all happens, but hey, we're good at that in crypto. So that's just the way it goes. All right, so on a Pulse chain testnet here with the devs here, you can see that they continue to do little updates to the site here. They continue to deal with little issues here. These are the public folders, not the private folders for the devs. And of course, you can see different issues that they've been working on during the testnet phase. Testnet 1 was 77 days, testnet 2 was 103 days, and the current testnet is about 62, 63 days in progress. And of course, the version 3 has been probably operating for a little while as well in the background privately. So very exciting there on that one. So that's pretty much it. Wrapped up, folks. So if you're new, maybe you've come from Luna, maybe you've come from somewhere else in the crypto sphere, different community, and you've heard about Pulse chain. Hopefully this has helped to give you a good introduction, and definitely go and find out more. There are a lot of creators, and of course in the space. So if we actually go down into Discord here, and we go into the useful links, you can actually go down to the bottom, and you will see the Pulse chain and Hex YouTube streamer sites. And of course, you can find lots of great content creators, all offer something different. So if you like certain things, you don't like certain things, you can find all that. And of course, you can see there's many content creators here. So it's very cool. You can view all channels at the bottom there on the Pulse Tube, and you can see all the content creators that are out and about, and there are lots of them. Something for everybody: entertainment, drama, news, technical how-to videos. Depending on what you're interested in, there's something there for everybody, and there's some really cool stuff. Maybe you like the maths, maybe you like the tokenomics, maybe you like crypto news as well. There's lots of stuff for everybody there. As you can see, there's so many content creators, and it's just growing all the time, and Pulse chain hasn't even launched yet, so you can see how exciting that's going to be. The other thing, of course, is not just the Pulse Tube, but there's Hex streamers as well. If you want to find more information, obviously there's people that are live at the moment. Hex Token here. You got Pulse Radio that's live as well. You got recent people that have been offline just recently. Crypto Coffee, some of the big YouTubers there as well. You've also got upcoming here, Crypto Wrapped, Jim Rat Crypto coming up in 9 minutes, and other channels in there as well. So you've got lots of stuff coming up if you want to watch more content. All of them are different channels. They all have different perspectives, different information, stuff like that. So definitely get into that. If you want to learn more about Pulse chain, maybe you've come across this by accident and you've heard about it, or maybe you have heard about it and you want to get more info, and that's the way to go. So definitely get into that. Very cool. And of course, the best thing to do, get into Discord, hit the link in the video description. This is a syndicated YouTube channel, a Discord channel, and of course multiple YouTubers on here. So definitely get into that with Gen Hex and Irons Crypto, and of course Hex Token channel. So definitely good at really two main focuses: community and of course information, and that's the way it goes. So a lot of people have been onboarded in this channel now. You have children and grandchildren even, so it really is a great place to learn. A lot of new people that are in here about crypto, finding basic answers on things that may be confusing to them. So definitely check that out. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and this is an introduction for you. We're going to get on to the second half of the live stream. We're going to get into the prices on crypto markets at the moment, including Hex and its derivatives. So I hope you guys enjoy the next section. Let's get into the comments and see how everyone's doing. I'm going to grab myself a drink first of all. Let's get into some of this at the top here. See what people have been doing. We've got Mixed Crypto Arts in the house. Morning, mate. Good to see you. We've got Davis, gang. Hey, good to see you, Hex Token channel member, Davis. You've got Bob Farter in the house as well. Picked up some 9-cent Hex earlier. Nailed it. Man, Bob, you did a brilliant job of that. Man, that is fantastic. Very nice. Yeah, that's really cool. Well done. We got Fat Sammy in the house there. Hi family. Good to see you, Fat Sammy. Another Hex Token channel member. Get that Maxi. Limited supplies. Says Name Khan. Yeah, definitely. Maxi is a good one for sure. Let's have a look here. We've got Scott Miller in the house here. Morning, Hexagons. Hey, good to see you. And Fat Sammy says, Hex Token, can we do a poll? What is your favorite, PLS, PLSX, or Hex? Yeah, sure, we'll do that poll. That sounds like a good one. What is your favorite? I guess what is your favorite RH coin token? We'll do this in anticipation, so cool. What's your token? And we got what do we got there? We got PLS. We got PLSX. We've got Hex. I guess there's two hexes. But we've only got room for another one. So we'll, actually we've got another option. We're going to have. I guess we're going to do. We'll call PHEX there. We got Hex or PHEX. We'll just leave Hex. That's fine. And we'll do incentive token. How about that? I think the incentive token might surprise some people in terms of demand. How many people are going to come over for that? All right, so cool. What is your favorite RH coin token? Let's see. Go for gold on that one. Hit that one. A big shout out to Fat Sammy for that poll suggestion. Mr. Profit in the house there. Hey, folks, good to see you. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's now in the house there. Our foreman. Good to see you. What's up, people? What else we got going? Shark +1 says Hex 647. I'm not sure if that means another shark in the place. I'm not sure. Hey, Sammy. And we're going to jump through some of these. Dave from down under says, sometimes it's best to say nothing. Not the time to poke the bear, says Dave. And what else we got? So Hex 647 saying there's the increase in sharks. Now, these are the Hex wallet holders. Increased by 1. Dolphins down by 5. Squids down by 5. Really? Overnight? Really? That's pretty significant. Turtles down 14. Crabs up 19. Shrimps up 653. Shells up 28. I like it, says Hex 647. Hey, I like the distribution. As I always say, with Hex, we get a distribution over time. And I think that's a very healthy for the token stuff as well. We got a Gaiman in the house there. Howdy, family. Woo! Good to see you, Gaiman. What else we got there? What's up, Hexkin? Tip Top's in the house there. What's up? Good to see Tim Top in the house there. Blobfish King says, woohoo! I'm surprised by some big dumpers. I'm not sure why they wouldn't hold on for the free copy of PX. They're holders of Hex who don't know about Pulsechain. Yeah, so both of these accounts here. So we had the Hex price at the moment is 11.58 cents. We had a sell-off earlier with 2 big trades that went through. And that was traded down to 0.09927 cents. So we're just below 10 cents. There was also a bot trade in there as well. Someone's trying to purchase and a bot trade, a front run that one. So we had a bit of that going on. So we did hit our support area. This is on the daily chart here. And so we have the support here at 10 cents through to 11.5 cents. This has been pretty solid. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 now. So it has held it pretty well. But of course, we've got Pulsechain coming. Let me just get rid of this big comment. It's always a big comment that I have when I'm just decided to talk about the chart. What's up with that? I always do it. It's my fault, of course. I'm the one supposed to take it off. So there we are. And so we had 4 testings of this over the last wee while. So how long has that been? It's been, let's take it from here. That's been 73 days. We've had this testing, this line here. And of course, we're anticipating the middle, what's this day? The 24th. The 24th is the yellow line, and the purple vertical line is the end of May. So we are expecting a very, very good chance, given some of the evidence that we've had so far from devs and from other sources there, that May is looking good. So what date is another question. We are waiting for Richard Hart. Richard Hart gave us an update, of course, about that. So we're going to jump on to Richard Hart, and I think we can go back to that comment. I think we had the update in there. It's probably best. I like to read the official updates. So we're going to scroll back down to here. It's nice to see all those highest to stake videos. So yeah, this was the 16th of May. What are we on now? The 17th. Yeah. So Pulsechain news this week. I should have a better idea when we can launch. I await for input from devs. And yeah, I know it's mid-May already. So I like the sense of humor there. That's pretty funny. My fingers are crossed for a short time frame thing, but I know that it's software and that a long time thing could be the answer I get from the devs pretty much. Thus, we all wait together. So there we are. We'll see what happens with that. A big shout out to Ryan, of course, representing, looking cool, smooth dude. Look at those glasses, man. Is that cool or what? the orange top and the orange glasses. Love it, love it. That's very, very stylish there as well. So cool stuff from Richard. Obviously, we had this highest of stakes stuff here. Really watch those. Are really cool little teasers from the highest of stakes documentary, film documentary. I guess we're going to see. I guess we're going to see a Pulsechain one too. So I'm looking forward to something like that. Anyway, so we got the 20. What do we say? The 24th here in yellow. We've also got the end of May here. So we're still ticking along here. Certainly, this is not the price that we expected to see. Now, obviously, the price of Gwei at the moment is pretty decent for Ethereum. Relatively speaking, 29, and of course a Uniswap trade at the moment is around about $10. We had some whale selling. Now obviously there's talk around about Rack and Rochelle, so whether that's true or not is another thing. So we've got definitely, all these trades did go through to Coinbase. I did follow them all. They all did entering ushering to Coinbase, so whatever that means, you take from it what you will. So 4.1 million Hex there, just sold Uniswap, 3.7 million there, 11.8 million there, and of course those are two different accounts. So then we had these ones here, 12 million Hex, 3.7 million Hex, so millions of dollars there flying out there, and 3.8 million Hex. So that was all 2 hours ago. Two different accounts there. Who's they are? That's another question. Obviously, you can do some chain analysis if you wanted to go off and do that. All right, so cool. All those trades though did go off to Coinbase for all those ones, so that was interesting by itself. So obviously, it looked like a related party for sure. I think that was pretty on that. What's the crypto market here? We're currently at 11.48 cents on Hex. We're going to jump over to the crypto markets, 30,000 on BTC and 2,000 on ETH, so holding up really nice. Actually, it just dropped below there, just updated 29,877, but still in very good place for Pulsechain launch. I'm pretty happy with it. As you guys know, this is kind of the sweet spot for me, at least around the 30 or above. So I'm loving that. Let's have a look at the dexes as well. But before we do that, let's get in some more of the comments. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself there. Davison House there. Sammy, I would like to hear the gist of what the issue is. Let me jump through some of this. Let's GB's in house there. Let's go. Woo-hoo-hoo. And what else we got going on there? Easy said. Let's have a look here. Fat Sammy said, I'm not the. Let me jump through some of this. Sandy Beach in the house there. Hello. Good to see you, Sandy Beach. Woo-hoo. And what else we got going there? We got the emojis from Sandy Beach looking good. Love that. Two fonts in here. Nice to be here again. Good to see you in the chat as well. Always a pleasure. Jump through this. Stake Hex says, my daughter Catherine, 8 years old, is watching. She loves some Hex and Superman. A nice one there, Stake Hex. Big shout out there. Young Hexkin in the house there. We've had so many young Hexkins lately get stakes, 500 Hex stakes. 8 grandchildren from Get Hex got staked Hex. So man, that's the whole next generation in the future there. 15-year stakes, beautiful stuff. So big shout out there. Drama looks like, yeah, lots of drama. Like I say, I try to keep off the drama on this channel. So there's plenty of channels that will talk about the drama. But I'm not really into that style of stuff. I'd like to think of investments in a more mature way, as the way I like to look at it. Hex 6747 says 9.29% stake now. Woo, yeah. Well, we're going to get into that. Well, we got 12 minutes. We will pull up the Hex stake data, and so we'll get on to that. We're going to wait this date's coming up here. So we've got day 897. So day 896, we're waiting for those results. So we'll check back in on those when they come out. We got us DJ Paulie in the house. Hey, DJ Paulie. Good vibes. I love it. And what else we got there? Let me get into this one. What else we got? The Pulse player says, also, how can Kinetics know the date? Then RH tweets he's waiting for devs to give them the date. It was a little bit of question about that too, Pulse player. I kind of agree with you on that. We're just trying to go with the best information we have. Obviously, we get some evidence. We do review the evidence on this channel. It's not like we don't do that. But of course, we just take the best inferment from those as we can. So I have a feeling that he may know. That's what gives me confidence about that Pulse player, given the Hex Investment Trust and some of the dialogue that those two have been having. That's what gives me a bit more confidence about that. Let's have a look here. Easy says, yep, Superman must know, as everybody is talking about on Twitter, for sure. And so, guys, when is the snapshot? 2 weeks again. Yeah, so obviously it hasn't been taken yet, so we're waiting for the fork for that. And John Gibbons says, what did Kinetics say about the launch date? Well, we got the video for that. We're going to play that because it is evidence, but it's not, it's not necessarily the fact, so we'll have a look at that. Where do we play that launch? I think I got that here. This was from, I think it was 2 days ago now, 2 days ago. So we'll play this for entertainment's sake. But it may.
Information with this last night that can be shared. He only shared what RH allowed him to share. So he did confirm last night to all of us. We had about, 40 Hexicans and Pulse people that came over, that he does know the launch date. Kinetics does. But he had to promise RH they would tell anybody the launch date. But what he could share for sure, and RH was fine with it, is that we are definitely for sure we have a guaranteed launch date in May. This is straight from Kinetics' mouth.
So that's what was the video played. Obviously, people shared that on Twitter. Trayvon, other people shared that. And Kinetics did say that they were at a gathering on the Discord Syndicate show when they were doing the Hex Investment Trust with Hexkins, and Hex is the Way was there. So yeah, I think Prisology may know stuff about that. Yeah, that's kind of for the moment. So anyway, in any case, we have to wait for Richard Hart. Regardless of evidence that we get pushed in front of us. Like I said, evidence not necessarily fact if you think about it. Yeah, that's what we've had so far. James Bond in house there with the emojis looking good. MTT says Kinetics and those OG dudes have developed a good god complex and have become cringe to watch. I only watch Superman nowadays. I appreciate that, MT. Hello, everybody. James Bond in house there. Woohoo! Easy says drama is never a good thing. Correct. Yeah. So that's if you're wondering why I'm not talking about those stuff, it's because I just consider it drama, and I'm really just interested in a good, strong community and good information as best as we can. I don't mind looking at some evidences, but it's probably we really want to look at the sound investments and things like that we're doing. Nice one. John Gibbs says, me too, DD. Now, once again, there's plenty of streamers out there. If you want to look at all that stuff, if you want to get into that, then, there's plenty of streamers out there to go watch all that. Hopefully, there's just a place where people will like this particular content. So, Fat Sam is in house there. Our community has got far by avoiding drama and being supportive of each other. Try not getting involved in drama as much as possible. We're all sailors on the same ship. I like that, Fat Sam, and it's very nice. All right, so let's jump through some here. Let's go through. Hey, Brizology's in the house there. Good day, everybody. Good to see Briz. Woo-hoo-hoo. Man, oh man. Briz, you got to come over for a sci-fi night. You got to come over for a sci-fi night. I know that you're in California. Man, that'd be cool. We have all the lads over for a sci-fi night. That's for sure. One needs to flex the. I was just watching this movie. All the guys are playing poker and they're having the cigars. I don't smoke, but the cigars are cool. They're having the cigars. I thought that was pretty cool. They were playing the poker in the night, and then the whole place is looking pretty hummy. It was pretty fun. Now let's sort of cup it up. I think that we're going to jump through some of these. Whatever we jump through, we're going to jump through some of those. Carpet Up says, I know you're laughing on the quiet suit, man, says Carpet Up. That's funny, man. Let me have a look at. So what's the chance of RH giving a couple of days notice for the launch? I think a fairly good chance, John. It's if he gives us a couple of days before Pulsechain, I think there's a fairly good chance. Obviously, he could just do the fork and go straight to live. I mean, that's the alternative. We're going to have to wait and see. These are kind of unknowns. And I think stuff that Richard said in the past, he may not do in the future. Like, you kind of give us almost indications, but not quite a statement, if you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, maybe it is, but not, so it gives some optionality there. I know that whatever he's going to do, it's going to probably be the best gamification. I mean, that's what he particularly is good at, gamification in crypto. So I think that will probably play out pretty nicely. Hey, we've got our poll going at the moment. 13 minutes ago, we got 59 votes in there. Getting their vote. What is your favorite RH coin token? PLS, PLSX, or Hex, or the incentive token? Let us know. Now, I actually think the incentive token might surprise to the upside too. You're going to remember the yield farmers coming over for that thing, and some of them speculate on the underlying token as well. So let's see how that plays out. It's going to be fun to see for sure. What else we got going there? He says the price of Hex tanked after that, though. Yeah, well, sure. There could have been a related issue there, easy. Hard to tell unless you do unless the chain, you can actually link the accounts with the names on the chain analysis. The Pulse player announced there. Woo-hoo-hoo! Baby Turtle's announced there. I love your name change, by the way, Baby Turtle. And that's very cool with the hearts and diamonds. Love Jesus. Nice one. I like that. What else is now there? Large Pizza says rag to riches. Rag to Riches. Yeah, I love Rag to Riches. He's an awesome content creator. Definitely one of my favorite content creators out there. Dave from Down Under says, can I please ask a stupid question? When we get our tokens from our sacrifice, will it be airdropped to my MetaMask? Yes, it will, Dave. Just like it does in the same way that we had Pulsechain version 2. So if you'd be able to put your address in here, you'd be able to see your tokens. I think it'll be more efficiently done. That was just a drafting. But definitely that is in place. Let me just pull up the latest one. Go to the sacrifice checker. Right, so this is a new update. I haven't seen this before. So normally Sandy Beach gives us the update of this, but the latest update is the 15th of May 2022. This looks new. So numbers in testnet, MetaMask Pulse lead, PulseX lead will not match what you see below. There we are. That's kind of answer to your question, actually. It's good like they updated that. Testnet, MetaMask, Pulse lead, PulseX numbers are not official. So remember that. The numbers in this app are official. There we are. Do not report discrepancies between what you see in testnet, MetaMask, Pulse lead, and PulseX versus what you see below. Learn more. So cool. Sacrifice started. This is new, so this wasn't here yesterday. I remember. Sacrifice data set iterates faster than new testnets are released. So let's screen that up a bit there. Good thing you asked that question. Big shout out to Dave because that's relevant there. Let me just get rid of your comment though because it's such a big one there. The balances you are allocated in testnet might not match what you see below because we have made improvements and fixes to the sacrifice data set since the release of testnet. You can review sacrifice allocations through all the iterations by selecting different sacrifice sets in step 1 below. So the original one, as I said yesterday, if you select on the select version, the original one was this one here, V2B. So that was when Pulsechain testnet came out. That should match up that one there if you selected that one. But of course, we've had all these iterations, and currently the latest official one here, 15th of May. That's what you're going to get pretty much airdrop to your Pulsechain. When you flick over, add Pulsechain mainnet, you'll be able to see your Pulse and PulseX depending on if you sacrifice for both of those. So cool whip, as we say. The balance you will see in the next testnet might not match what you see below yet because there will be more iterations of the sacrifice data set before the next testnet is released. So they're still talking about this next testnet being released, although we believe that V3 is being operated at the moment. So under chain ID 942, which we've already seen before. We might go have a look at that actually at this time. So just remember that when we're looking at this information, we're looking at the information. Oh, we're looking at Once we go dark there, we're looking at the information that we see. You know, people put evidence across us. We're trying to assess whether it's true or not. So we got Pulsechain. That was the previous one. Pulsechain testnet 2. That was 940. Then we had the current one, 941, which is what we see here. And then, of course, there's this testnet 942, which says V3 on there. And, of course, we believe that is being run privately by the team. So that's kind of where we feel about that. And so, we got this update here. Please report any missing sacrifice data in the current sacrifice set by filling out the form at the bottom of the page. MetaMask are required to report to do the reporting. And, of course, you can say, I can't find my sacrifice. If you were hacked, please read this. Is your sacrifice missing? Let's go through a few easy steps, and if you're not, if you still cannot find your sacrifice, this page will help you report your missing sacrifice to the devs. Do you think your sacrifice amount is incorrect? Let's go through a few easy steps, and if you still think the sacrifice is correct, this page will help you report your discrepancy to devs. So those are the two links you got there. Of course, yes, the sacrifice before the April the 6th. No, I sacrificed after the April the 6th. So people still remember April the 6th, 22 was really the end of the mercy period. People were supposed to stop their sacrifices. But of course, people can't help themselves. They want that pulse. So if you don't believe that people want pulse and stuff, they want their pulse, even if it's a minute amount for the sacrifice they're putting. They want some, and they want some for sure. So that's just the way it goes. Yes, I sacrificed before, so you got links there. Bam. Of course, these are the official addresses here for the sacrifices. And of course, I'm not sure what the other one is actually. Let's jump back to there. Can't promise that afterwards. What's it say? So you paste in your address there and do that. Fortunately, to show your sacrifices unlikely to be credited for the Pulsechain and PulseX sacrifices. So that's very important if you sacrifice after that. So just remember that they have done it. They've done a. I don't know why it keeps going back there. They've done a. I keep pushing the backward button, but they've done that. So that's cool. I think my sacrifice. No, before. So cool. No, I sacrificed after. Fortunately, according to what you've told us, your sacrifice is unlikely to be credited. So cool. On that one. So that is pretty neat. So don't forget to check that. Now remember, all the links to these are in useful links here on Discord. So if you want to go to useful links, up to the top here, we've got the sacrifice balances up here somewhere. Here they are here, Pulsechain and PulseX sacrifice checker apps. We've got the general one, we've got Tron, and the Theta one there. So you can use those if you want to check those. Cool VIP, as we say. Hey, we've got a couple of new members. Cool. Heading up towards 400 members on Discord. Definitely get in, hit the link and get into it. That's the way we roll. In terms of getting in it. Now, remember the two main things of this Discord, community and information. That's pretty much all you're going to ever see on here, community and information. Now, we may have more YouTubers join the syndicated Discord. We've currently got Gen Hex and Heinz Crypto, and of course, we may have a few more coming in as well. So you'll be able to get all their YouTube and Twitter feeds from the syndicated YouTubers that are on here. But I think we're all pretty similar, like-minded about our views on the ecosystem. So cool. All right, we're coming up to 12:17. We've got the latest day for the Hex data. Don't forget to get in the poll. We've still got stuff going on there. I think we've got a new member in the chat there. We're going to have to jump through that. Where did I get up to there? Jump down to there. I think we're miles away there. Hey, big shout out, Crypto Hooligans in the house. New member, big shout down. Woo-hoo-hoo. We appreciate that. So big, strong supporter. Don't forget, Crypto Hooligans, smash out the emojis on the way up and there too, because we like to play at that. So we've got quite a few there. So smash out those emojis. It's pretty cool to see a new channel member in the house. Nice. So we're going to post that. Always use the wrong keyboard. There. Big shout out. All right. So here we are on day 896 on Hex Journey. It has just come out. Hot off the press. Price down 20.5 cents. We don't like seeing that too often. But hey, we bounced back. We might have gone down to 10 cents or 9.9, but we bounced back to 11.6. So very, very cool. And of course, the 16th of May is the date there. Very, very nice. So what do we get? 6.176 X payout per T-share. Beautiful thing. I love that. Hope you guys love that. T-share payouts are amazing. And of course, we just keep getting them every day. And of course, if you're holding T-shares, you're in a pretty special class because the T-share rate keeps going up and the T-shares total volume has been falling, relatively speaking. And of course, it's going to fall if you think about it, even with retail growth, because we've got the T-share rate going up over time. So that's the way that allocates that. The T-share rate gives a kind of an equal opportunity on average to people coming in at any particular point in time, reflects that compound interest as well, or compound return as well. So at the moment, obviously, a lot cheaper to get a T-share now, $2,528. And of course, yesterday was $3,200. So a lot better today. That said, T-share rates going up there, heading up towards 22,000. Now, this is only going to keep going up and to the right. It's important to know that. Now, the only way of getting a cheaper T-share price is by staking for 10 years. So you can get up to 200% more shares when you take your Hex. You swap it for shares when you put your stake in. And of course, that means you can get it for a third of the price here. So just take that into account. So let's pull the math out. I want to be accurate there. 2,528 times, what did I say? 0.33, say. That's about $834 for a T-share if you do a 10-year stake. So not too bad there. All right, so let us have a look at the other stuff here. We've got the average stake length, a new all-time high for the average stake length, 6.66 years. There's a 666. Is that a bad sign? I don't know. That's what we've got at the moment, 6666. And we've got the APY there. I feel Damon Omen, the Omen calling that. Just kidding. All right, we got APY at 39, almost 40% there, and the liquidity in the pool jumped obviously with the big selling, those accounts selling, a couple $1 million down. That's 198.2 million Hex in the pool. Now, obviously, we're falling from 22.5 million down to 17.5 million US dollars in there. So what's that? About $5 million change. That's a pretty big deal. Now, I haven't checked the liquidity pools either, see what has happened there, but that's certainly a big change in the ETH there, and obviously the ETH as well as those accounts sold down. Now we looked at those already in terms of these accounts here selling down 2 hours ago. So just remember that. So quite a bit of stuff there. All right, cool. So that's what's happening there. Let me just scroll over to some of the T-shares here. T-shares down 4,000. So we're down to 10,425,618 T-shares. So if you've got a T-share, it's getting, there's not as many T-shares around, meaning that you're getting more of the reward pool. Remember, you've got the reward pool with the inflation and with the penalties, 50% of the penalties, and then you've got T-shares. The T-shares own the reward pool. Every day you get a certain amount of Hex per T-share, and that's basically if the ownership pool goes down, that means your payout for the Hex per T-share will go up, pretty much that. So pretty neat. All right, cool. What else we got there? So we had mint and inflation coming out. Pretty big days, actually. Last couple of days have been quite big days, mint and inflation. And the last 10 days, actually, especially with the big whale that came out before. What else we got there? So circulating supply increased by 209 million. So we had lots of increases in circulating supply, and of course decreases as well in terms of the staking. So staking's decreased, but circulating supply has gone up. And then, of course, the total amount staked now, 9.3% of all Hex is staked at the moment. And obviously, the lower the percentage, the higher the APY in terms of your rewards. So cool. Now, obviously, some people have been talking about the Origin account possibly doing some more staking. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that works in terms of managing the APY that's on the chain. So we'll see. Post Pulsechain, that is. I have another good day. 1 million in penalties. We had a pretty good couple of days in terms of penalties. What we had 7 out of the last 10 days been over 1 million. Looking good. Now, these wallet holder, changing wallet holder numbers, I probably need to think about what's causing this. We had a big jump in the wallet holders here. And, of course, you can see current holders up 455, 477. We are very close to 300,000 current wallet holders, 299,830. Stakers have jumped as well. And I haven't really spent any time thinking about why is this happening. But there we are. If you know anything, let us know in the chat. Maybe some of you have come across some analysis or something, but we're definitely jumped here in total stakers, and the current stakers up here. So 94,366. So we're just about hit 300,000 wallet holders, and of course heading up towards 100,000 stakers as well. Pretty powerful stuff there. I'm just trying to think through either Hedron or something like that that's doing that sort of thing. So cool. Very nice. So we're doing nicely there at the moment. We've got 204 million liquidity in the Hex pool there. And we're sitting at 6.185, and we're currently on day 897. It's going to be a lot of fun as we move forward. Cool. That is results there. Looking good. Let us jump into Deck Screener. We're going to look into the prices, but let's get through some of the chat here. Don't forget the poll's still running. Just got to think how long I've been live streaming. We've still got plenty of time. Getting that poll, 77 votes so far. We will end that towards the end of the live stream. Nice there. How far back am I? I lost myself in my position. I had a good question that I had. Let's get back into some of these. We're up to Brizolgi came in. I remember that much. Where did Brizolgi come in? Let me just scroll back up here. Brizolgi came in. Found Brizolgi. Cool. Scrolled through all that. We had a look at that. Go through some of that. Baby Turtle says, hey all, I love Hexens. I think we got up to that, didn't we? Yeah, got up to Dave from Down Under. Large Picture says, Rack to Riches and other YouTubers saying good things about you. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, that's nice, Large Picture. That's very, very cool. I love a positive community. What else we got going there? Just jumping through. Ryan Torres says, when Pulsechain launches, what do you think EHEX price will do? I think it will be volatile. I think there will be a certain amount of people that will sell it down, but we possibly could have some whales buy it up. So we'll see how we go. I definitely expect volatility. Obviously, we should expect probably Hex on Pulsechain to price up pretty quickly. And I suspect that will end up as a premium. But I suspect that both chains will do well over time. So obviously with a premium on the Pulsechain, that's kind of where I feel that's going to be. How severe will the volatility get? Well, we'll find out. It could be quite severe. We'll see how we get on. AZ says, after all the drama, Hex tanked to 10 cents. Now it's trying to recover. Yeah, actually bounced back pretty solid there. We've got 11.35 cents there. Obviously sold down. Let me pull that up. Sold down there. and back up on the hourly there. We've got Hedron at the moment at 11.23, so that's obviously a bit of sell-off there too. We've got Maxi, man. Maxi just killing it here. 78% premium, obviously, on Hex. That's pretty amazing. And the price at the moment, let's see what that is. Price is just under 20 cents. So we're sitting up here around 25, 20. This is on the daily chart. So 25 yesterday, and of course 21 cents earlier. Now at 19.82 cents. But the premium is absolutely stellar on the premium there. As we say, it is looking impressive. What did I say? 75%, 78%, 78.9. So looking impressive there. Man, oh man, that's such a good chart. Look at that chart, man. That's really, really impressive. All right, so on the ratio, this is the ratio, the premium. Pulse Dodge there, having a bit of pull off. We opened up $2.46, looking really good. $2.34 at the moment. I really like this as well. Very feeling quite good about this. Even with this formation here, I still feel like as long as we keep this high low in place, this could do pretty well. It's got the scarcity play, remember, and it is on still in its 100-day launch phase, just like Hedron is. Hedron is now, actually, let's jump to Hedron. Hedron has changed, and of course, we've got to talk about that. Hedron, we just rolled over the day. We're now in the last 20 days of Hedron. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. The last 20 days of Hedron, man, we are killing it. And of course, now you get a 2x bonus, not a 3x bonus that's gone half an hour ago. Now down a 2x volume bonus. We're in the last 20 days of the launch phase. The claim bonus, the claim function will disappear at the end of the next 20 days. And then let's see what happens to Hedron after that. Will whales decide to accumulate positions on a large volume basis? We will see. Obviously, Pulsechain in the next 20 days could easily launch in that time frame. We're on, so definitely it's an interesting play. Hedron launch phase versus Pulsechain. They've got the two drivers there in the launch phase and Pulsechain. So it's going to be fascinating. So if you've got a Hex stake there, you can get 2x bonus, connect your wallet and do the claim. You don't have to mint the tokens, just do the claim. That will last the lifetime of your stake. Basically, it's like an airdrop, like PLSD, but different. It's different there. You've got to claim it there, and you get paid Hedron per days that you served in your stake. You must make sure you claim your Hedron before you end your stake. That's probably very important. So cool. Well, that's cool. Bit of drama there. What else we got going in there? We've got, so that is the tokens there. Let's have a look at the BNB chain. Now, obviously, these because they're all linked to Wrap BNB, they pretty much go with where BNB goes. BNB is just under $300 there, 290, well, just almost $300 there. And of course, we'll see where they go. We've got a bit of resurgence here on a Pulse Dodge at still the same. Actually, it looks pretty. It's just slightly higher, 8.6. So almost 9/10 of a penny or cent on that one. We got a Pulse 33, a big surge. OMG. Some money was made there, right? Some money was made there. We were sitting back after a big pullback down to 18.8 cents. And look at the last candle. This has jumped back big time, 27 cents. And it's gone as high as 59 cents, currently at 51. So that is the talk of the town at the moment. Look at that. It's on the full chart there. Wow. Let me take away this comment here. So that's a pretty big deal. Look at that. Beautiful there. And let's see whether it can build on this and move on up there. So nice. That was impacted big by the pullback, but climbing back pretty strong there. IM, of course, IM here, Internet Money. What chart am I on here? The hourly. We've got the hourly there. Let's go to the hourly there. It's a bit easier to look at there. I can go to daily, but I think I have to change this around. So I think daily doesn't look good at all. That looks terrible. I don't know what's happening there. All right, so what? That's completely gone awry. What happened to my IM chart there? What happened to that? We have to reboot, folks. We have to reboot. When in doubt, reboot. When in doubt, reboot. That's how we roll. All right, so there we are. That's the charts there. That first candle? I hate those first candles on these charts. Anyway, so we're at 13.94 there, getting a little bit of a comeback here, but still in the downtrend. Obviously, BNB coming back a little bit there, helping. But the only standout that I can see, really, I mean, Pulse Dodge looks like it's climbing up a bit, but is this P33 performing very well on the bounce back. But it did get caned on the pullback. So just remember that with BNB linkage got caned. Now, these ones obviously going to airdrop as over to Pulsechain rather than copied. like the ETH versions over here, the Hex derivatives, Hedron and Maxi, and the airdrop meme coin Pulse Dodge. So cool. All right, that is that, and we're going to jump on to the gas prices at the moment, 40.34. We're going to leave it on the Hex chart here. We might go to the hourly here, and we'll keep watching that. And of course, we punch back over support, still at 11.3. We're at the top of the support range, 10 cents to 11.5 cents. That's that orange bar there. So let's hope for the best there. What else we got going? We got a couple of comments in the house. Brazil says, yep, right in your MetaMask. All you have to do is open your MetaMask and hit the green button on top and switch to the Pulsechain. Boom. Yeah, let's actually do that since Brazil just pushed it up there. I'm going to expand the view of the MetaMask wallet here. So obviously you can see Pulsechain here up here. And of course, you can swap between Pulsechain and Ethereum. So imagine you're on Ethereum, mainnet goes live for Pulsechain. You have to add in the network. Obviously, the current network is Pulsechain. You just switch it over, and you should see your Pulse and your Pulse in there. Now, you probably will have to add the PulseX contract, whatever that's going to be, when mainnet launches. So probably take that into account, but otherwise should be there. The other thing is it will be on the blockchain in any case, so you can go to the blockchain and check that out. So cool. All right, let us jump away from there, and we're going to get back into Hex price. Good update there. Fat Sammy says, if you watch, everyone considering joining the channel as a member and throwing him a few bucks once a month. I appreciate that, Fat Sammy. Ryan says, go away, so you better buy. So you better buy now. But wait, go away, buy up. Yeah, so you better buy now. Yeah, I like that, Chris. Davis says, I was watching Superman back during the Pulsechain sacrifice. I appreciate that, Davis. Yeah, big shout out. That was a while ago now, man. It feels like a long time ago. Like that, the 19 days was long. Like it felt long at the time. And then here we are all the way now. What are we now? May the 17th. Yeah, so there's probably a little bit of fatigue coming in. People are really looking forward to this, are looking forward to this launch. People really want the launch to happen. So yeah. Precisely says, I was going to wait for 9 cents and I was going to go hard. It looks like to be correcting itself upward again. Dang, it says, yeah. Crypto Hooligans in the house there. You rock suit, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. Stoked for the launch. Me too. I'm excited about the launch. Can't wait. And I think most people are pretty keen to have the launch come up. Sandy Beach says, Ragged Rich's stream is on my watch list. I missed a lot of live streams today. Yeah, there's so many content creators. As I said, there's so many, something for everybody. Cool. X-Force1 says there's a new warning on the stack page. Don't you know if you've seen it? You read that out earlier. Maybe we timed it at the same time because I'm way behind my I'm 40 minutes behind my comments here, so I'm going to jump through some of these. Jen Hex says it needs to stay dipping until Friday. Lol. Payday. Yeah. I get you with that. I would love. Hey, look, I talk about I want Pulsechain launch up, but I would love it to be slightly delayed because I've got some funds coming myself. That would be nice, but hey, that's not the way it's going to play out. I'm sure it's going to launch before that happens. Hillshark says, anyone think a PulseX will do a 100x? I do. I think within 2-3 months, I think it could do that. It really could be surprising. And I don't think in the first month, but certainly could do that within a 2-3 month period. Jen Hex says I only hit the like on RTO when the biz on double dip my rebelling. Mark says, do you think PulseX or Liquid Loans would ever be listed on Binance in exchanges? Now we talked about Binance the other day because the price listing's on there, but of course we have had a pretty rough relationship with them. So with Hex, so possibly not. We will see. And but I definitely think maybe OKX or some other of those exchanges in the top 10 may play out there. So if we actually look at the exchanges, there's one of these has contacted Richard. Now I remember a long time ago in a feed that Richard actually named an exchange, but I don't know whether that's the same one he was referring to. And I don't have the time to go and search out that comment. But FTX, OKX there, Could be some of these. I would really like Qcoin or something like that. I love Qcoin. I know Crypto.com there also has stuff around Hex, but it'll be interesting to see that out. But Binance, typically you have to pay money to Binance now. Obviously that could happen, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting. All right, cool. What else do we got? Get Hex says Sammy wasn't planning one tonight, but might do it in a week. Let me just wondering. Big Billy says just bought some more Hex, waiting on Superman pump now. Woo-hoo-hoo! Hey, Big Billy, I love that. Yeah, it's not pumping at the moment, unfortunately, Big Billy, but that's nice accumulation. Chenchin says good morning from down under. Hey, good to see you, Chenchi. Very cool. And Terry Docs from Scotland, good to see you as well. Love the fact that the communities from around the world really is really neat. Nick says maybe the dumpers know something we don't. Maybe the snapshot has happened and they dump for the USDC as liquidity for Pulse. Probably something else there, Nick, I would say. But they moved all the money to Coinbase. That's all I know. Every movie needs a protagonist. Yeah. And Richard Hart movie needs an antagonist. Richard Hart. Here's the... That's funny, man. That's funny, DB. Easy said, yeah, what's going to be interesting to see the highest of the stakes. They did want an antagonist. So we'll see how that plays into all of this stuff that's happening these days. It kind of makes sense, right? You got a big venture capitalist that may play out. I don't want to make too many comments about that, but that's probably where it's sitting. Hey, we're heading up towards 100 votes, folks. Don't forget to vote. Let's see if we can get 100 votes on our what is your favorite Richard Hart token coin, and of course PulseX, Hex, or the incentive token. What else there? Michael says all broke out up to the upside today. Nice. Which one of my favorite oil companies? The snapshot didn't happen, guys. Don't let some selling make you think differently. Not a good argument. That's true. Agree. Let's jump in some of this. Hex Sound says, I just realized I have been pricing everything in Hex for months and didn't even think about it. Lol. That's funny. Brazil says, sci-fi night. It is. Yeah, that's how far behind I am in the conversation. Apologize for that. Briz, stop by China and bring the Chinese food for the sci-fi night. That's funny, man. That's funny, Briz. That's real funny. Pulsechain will be, yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's for sure. What else there? We'll jump through some of these. Let's keep going. DK Cooper says, I caught the 10-cent mark and my stakes are insane and my liquid is even more nuts. That's awesome. And emojis from me. Getting up to catching up now. How far behind? I'm not doing too bad. Crypto Hooligan in the house there with the emojis, looking good. And thanks, family. You're welcome. FTV says, how many Hex does recommend? He's one of the biggest of Rails, so you wouldn't want him selling down his bag, that's for sure. J Man's in the house there. Woo! And Ing is in the house. OMG, guys. OMG. Smash those likes, says KD. Absolutely smash the likes there. Appreciate the warm welcome. Now. Yes, now is our forum for the moderators. Also, he is a legend onboarder. He does so much good stuff for the community members. If you need help with technical things, he'll definitely help you out for sure. John says, is the gold whale buying at the moment? Now, actually, I'm going to add his address because I haven't got that up at the moment. I don't think he is at the moment. We haven't seen any big whales really be buying. Most of the stuff we've been seeing is retail driven. So that's why the price is where it is at the moment. But hey, the price is still at a pretty good level compared to a year ago. So we're pretty happy with that. In fact, if we go to Nomics, we've done this a few times. We go to Nomics, we can see that. So if I can spell properly, nomics.com. I got my other mouse in the way, that's probably why. We go to the yearly chart here. Let's see what it looks like so far. Yeah, okay, things have changed a little bit because these were down 30-40%. So obviously the time frame has changed quite a bit. They're 30, Binance, Solana 120, X 187. So Solana and X at the moment looking really different. It's amazing if you do this on a different day, how different the price looks for some reason. So anyway, Solana 120, Hex at 187% up there on a year ago. So it's still looking very, very good. Obviously the chart's not quite playing out as a lot of people would have hoped. We're definitely outside the 6 month, double thing. But otherwise it's doing all right. Ing says, hi guys, just been listening to the Binance live stream. Pulsechain, Binance live stream. Pulsechain is going to smash it. They are scrambling to do what RH has already done. Okay, I didn't see that there. You talk about Binance itself. That's V3 Maxi at ETH 20 cents. Yeah. Easy says Hedron will fly. Lol. I think it's going to do as well. Great time to be a whale in Hedron at the moment with these low lows. Hodl says Easy. Yeah, I think so. What else we got going there? Sandy Beach with the emojis. Eurasian says, what is the logic of these whales to sell their bags just before Pulsechain launch? They should have something in mind that we are missing. Who knows? Some people are associating it to Reckon, but it may not be. Who knows? I don't know. Haven't done the chain analysis. Don't know if anyone else can. But hey, that's out there. Moon Amber says, a lot of hexagons panic when one person sells. What happens when 6 stakes end? Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of liquidity out there, folks. There's a lot of liquidity, a lot of stuff that's come out of stakes. There's a lot of liquidity sitting around as well. So, definitely could. I haven't actually checked to see whether they came out of stakes, but definitely a lot of stuff hanging around. Just scooped up some cheap Hex. What a great opportunity. Best time on board is now, Hex Machine. I agree with you on that. Hey, welcome everybody. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell as well. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes here. We just got over 100 likes on the 100 votes on the poll. And let's see if we can get 100 likes on the video. Let me have a look here. Linux Master says ETH gas is cheap now. Yeah, it's not too bad at the moment. 29, I think it was down lower earlier. So not too bad. Let's see. Let's have a look here. Hex Machine says he spoke with the dev from OKX many months ago. Yeah, so that's kind of the one, I think, from the exchange here. This one here, number 4, that could be the one that's listing Pulsechain. So I think that's probably the most popular one in terms of people thinking that's the one they're going to be. That's a good point there, Hex Machine. Get Hex says, it's funny how dedicated Hexagon loves the dip. That opportunity, it's outs the short timers so you could play in when the price drops temporarily. Absolutely. And it's down out. Truth. I love it. Chris P is in the house there. I missed the drop at 10 cents this morning, but maybe I'll get another chance, says Chris P. Hey, you just might be lucky there. Someone said 12 cents yesterday, and it ended up coming to 12 cents, if you remember. On live streams, I go 12 cents? 12 cents? No! And then I thought about it, actually, it's 13 something cents. Could go to 12 cents. And what happened? It went to 12 cents. So that's just the way it goes sometimes. And the thing. But Pulsechain's still coming. Pulsechain is coming, and it's not disappearing for sure. Hey, we're up to on the time frame, an hour and 30. We're going to wrap it up now, and I'm going to close the poll off. Let me do that and see what the results are in poll. Don't forget, this is the first live stream today. I'll be doing a second live stream later on in the day in about 4.5 hours, something like that. So catch me for live stream number 2. 2 live streams a day on Hex Token channel, and of course, a Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex Maxi channel. But of course, we talk about a lot of other cool stuff as well. Okay, the poll is, what is your favorite RH coin token? 102 votes, so thanks everybody for voting. We've got Hex 44%, PulseX 31%, and Pulse at 21%, and incentive 2%. That's surprising. There's some surprising results in there. We have, that is in a different order that I would have suspected. I probably would have suspected Pulse, PulseX Hex at the moment, and then incentive token. I do think that that's a reverse order. That's interesting. The other thing, of course, is the incentive token. 2%. I think people are probably underplaying the incentive token. You got to remember the yield farmers are coming for that, and some of them speculate on holding it, accumulating that token itself when it's deflationary. So we'll see how the incentive token goes. But I suspect you got to think about it's not just PulseX, but the incentive token that are going to be a big deal there. Let's see how that goes, though. Obviously, I don't know the future, but it's going to be fun to see that for sure. All right, let's get into some of the comments here. We got Gen X. I dropped my name off. I put it back. It might be Craig Hex Token again. Nice one there, Gen X. He's a tricky guy, Gen X. Love it. And of course, James in the house there with the emojis. Missed the poll, but I chose Pulse, says James. Nice. All right, so thanks everybody for this first live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Rock on out there. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff, and get into Discord. We're heading up towards 400 members. If you haven't joined, it is a lot of great place, good community, and of course, good information. That's what we're focusing on the channel as well. All right, nice one. Let me just sign off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later on today. Bam, as we say, bam. We're all waiting for Pulsechain. Bring on Pulsechain. That's what we want to see. Take care, says KD. Like, says DB. Nice one. and emojis out there too. Hey, we're up to 87 there. Hit the like button on the way up. Thanks, Superman, says James. A pleasure. I'll be in Discord. See you guys all in there. Thanks again, says Briz on that one. Hey, always great to see Briz in the house there. I'm sure we're going to have a good Chinese dinner there, especially when it's fresh from the China. It's going to be fun. Bring it on. Yeah, absolutely bring it on. All right, I'm going to post some emojis. If you're Hex Token channel member, smash out some emojis on the way up. And, of course, we've got our latest channel member. Let me just post some of those. Bam. And our latest channel member, get in there and post them away. Nice. Cool. I think we're done with that. All right, bye for now. Take care. Peace. Stay safe, everybody. Says Tension. Absolutely. Bye.